Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Every Day is Friday, the show where we dive into the stories and experiences from people from all walks of life. Today, we have Alex with us. He's an entrepreneur and a college dropout who's proven you don't need a degree to build something big. He's the creator of the Paid app, a platform designed to help creators get paid per 1,000 views by connecting them with businesses on a performance-based platform or performance-based model. Alex, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I'm excited to be here.
For the listeners who may not be familiar with your line of work yet, could you give us a quick rundown of who you are and what you do and why you do it?
Yeah, so I kind of just decided that the path that my dad and brother took of major in finance, go to college, work for Chase wasn't for me. So I started looking for a way out, got into online sales. A lot of people were like, yo, we need more good sales reps. That led me to actually building this company. I'm wearing this shirt today, Closify, hiring platform to hire commission-only sales reps. I started that company while I was a full-time college athlete in like January, February of 2021. By April of 2021, I dropped out of school. By October of 2021, I had moved to Miami, and we did our first 50K a month. The first month I was in Miami, and kind of everything snowballed kind of since that little stretch.
That's great. Now, how did your journey into entrepreneurship begin?
I was always a little bit interested in it. I worked one summer job ever, so technically I've only ever had one job. And I was working at these tennis courts at a country club. And, it was an easy job. Like, there was nothing wrong with it. But I remember I made like $900 over the course of an entire summer. And I think that's still even pre-tax. And I was like, there's got to be a better way to make money. And that was when I looked into, one of my buddies was selling shoes, so I started selling shoes. I actually got pretty good at that. I didn't make a lot of money, but for someone that was still in high school, maybe making like a couple grand per month instead of making $900 per summer. And then once I was heading off to college, I did all my shoe flipping like in person. I didn't do it online or anything. Like, I would go to stores and wait out and things of that nature. And so I was like, well, I'm not going to have my same connections in this new city. I'm not going to have a car. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to make money online. And that was kind of when that rabbit hole started of how do I make money online.
No, it's always inspiring. It's inspiring to hear successful entrepreneurs like you, how they get started. I mean, what made you decide to drop out of college? And do you think it was a good decision today?
Yeah, so I kind of like to tell people it's like a lot of people are like very like they're like proud of being a dropout. They think it's like a flex to say like they're a dropout. I don't see it as that way. I would have loved to finish out my 4 years of college. I would have, not because I cared about the school, but because I really like tennis. I still like tennis, and I kind of feel like I got robbed of my college tennis experience. The reason I ultimately dropped out was because of the big scary C word thing that was going on. It was the campus that I was on was a smaller school. It was like 8,000 kids. It was like genuine like imprisonment where they stripped away your ability to have any sort of social interaction. You couldn't hang out with your friends. You couldn't go off campus. Everything was like you couldn't have your mask even below your nose. Someone would be trying to take a picture of you and send it to the dean. It was just ridiculous, and it was like literally like tyranny. It felt like, and so I just couldn't take it anymore. The classes were a joke. Our professors like they were fine before, but then our professors started to send us YouTube videos to watch. And I was like, I cannot put up with this anymore. This is the biggest joke. I have no social life. Like, my grades are plummeting because I have to be in a classroom. I have to I'm a very visual person. I have to ask questions. So like when I'm just being sent a pre-recorded YouTube video to watch, I'm not learning anything else. This is a waste of money. So ultimately I left, and it was the best decision I ever made because then, like I said, 6 months or whatever later, I was in Miami. There were no restrictions ever in Miami. It was life as usual the entire time I've ever been there. I met a lot of people. I started making a lot of money way faster. So I think it was the best decision of my life. And I think it has been a very pivotal decision for a lot of people. But I do like to preface and say, I don't think it's a flex to be like a college dropout because I know people that they're running $100,000 a month businesses, more than $100,000 a month businesses, while still being in school, while still being involved in social life, while doing X, Y, Z, that. So it's especially if you're not going to go into, if you're going to go into debt, a ton of debt for college, I get why you would drop out. To me, it's backwards to go into that much debt, especially I did a paper on high school. If you look at all the stats of the average debt someone goes into for like the average pay they get out of college and the average amount of time it takes for them to pay it off, it's actually pretty scary to look at. So if you're going to go into a lot of debt, like, yeah, it actually might be a good idea. But if you're not going to go into any debt, like, go take your 4-year vacation. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. One door closes, another one will open. That's what happened with you, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, can you dive into the paid app and what made you why did you make that app, and was there any big challenges you faced when building it?
Yeah, so this has kind of been like the perfect storm in my opinion, because again, I started off with Closify, which was a marketplace. You know, there was a balance of having enough salespeople and having enough business owners hiring salespeople. This company grew entirely from outbound, cold email, cold calling, just a big outbound sales team. That was the first thing I got very good at. Is I got very good at cold email, LinkedIn, cold calling, building the sales teams, building out CRM, which is funny because people see me now and they just see like my personal brand online. They're like, oh, this guy's like a content guy, or he's like a guru. It's like I was like very, very good at sales systems and building out CRMs and things of that nature. And so about a week after I exited majority of Closify was when I blew up on social media. And then I built a software development agency off the back of that following, because a lot of people were asking me, where do you hire your developers? So I started a no-code development agency, and all of a sudden I saw how much easier it is to build a business off of content. I was like, these people already trust me. They already like me. Like I put up a story and I booked my calendar out for a week. Like, it was crazy. It was like, for me to book 200 calls a month in Closify, we were sending like 100,000 cold emails per month. We had sales people on LinkedIn. We had cold callers. We had this, we had that, all these moving parts, this big team, this overhead to book that many calls. And it's like, now I just throw up a story, like, infinitely easier. So I saw the power of content. And then I also started to get actually a lot of brand deals. And they were actually brand deals for very large companies, billion-dollar companies. I technically don't think I'm allowed to like say the names, but if you go scroll through my YouTube or my Instagram long enough, you'll kind of see them. And I was getting these big brand deals. They're paying like, these are like really good paying brand deals. Like, one of them was paying me $7,500 a month on a year-long contract. Like, that's $90,000 a year for what was like 1 hour of work a month for me, like maybe 2 hours, but like ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, it was mind-boggling to me. And so I was doing that, and I was doing these brand deals, and I was, I became an advisor for a few companies, but like ultimately everything that I was doing from like March of 2023 until about Q4 of last year, my only job was to post content. There was really nothing else that was on me. I had someone else, like, whether, the developers would be the ones that would build the projects for the client. We had project managers. If I'm an advisor for a company, it's like maybe I hop on a call with them every now and again. I make videos for these companies. It's like my only job was really to make content. And I was kind of itching to get like back into something that like requires a little bit more from me. Like, it sounds counterintuitive, but it's like, it's a very blessed problem to have. But I was very bored. And so I was trying to fill my time with, random stuff, some stuff that's good, some stuff that's probably not good for me. And all of a sudden I was on a run. I kind of just got like airdropped the idea for paid. And I was like, a year ago, or a little over a year ago now, when TikTok Shop came out, it like overnight revolutionized how e-commerce is done. All of a sudden you can have hundreds, if not thousands, of creators post about your product for commission only. That used to never be possible before. Like, people were launching their brands at 6 figures their first month, which that would usually require you to have some giant budget. And so it revolutionized e-commerce overnight. And I was like, software hasn't adopted this yet. And I had a company that I was an advisor for that I made content for as well, that my content did really good for them. But I'm like, I'm just one person, but I know what type of content works well for them. So what if I trained a bunch of people to make content just like I do for them? Ran a little test group. It worked really, really well, which I kind of knew it would, but I wanted to test it. And then I was like, okay, I could run this as an agency and manage creators and train creators. But I was like, this was so much work for one client. I can't imagine how hard this would be to do for 10 clients, 100 clients, 1,000 clients. And I know myself and I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses. And one of my big weaknesses is I'm not an operations guy. I'm not good at that stuff. I'm not good at running an agency. And so I was like, not going the agency route. How do I take away the manual fulfillment of this? And, the answer goes back to software. That was when I got the idea for paid. So now it's super simple. A business owner, they can sign up. They load their budget. They can say, hey, I have a $1,000 a month budget, a $5,000 a month budget, a $50,000 a month budget. They can put out postings for straight up brand deals. They can put out CPM campaigns, say, hey, we'll just pay $1 per 1,000 views. And they can put out competitions. They can say, hey, 2-week competition, $5,000 prize pool. First place gets this much, second place gets this much, third place gets this much. And they can divide it up however much they want. So kind of just got airdropped that idea for me, started building it. I think in November is when we started development. And we literally just like fully launched like app on the app store, started promoting it like 2 weeks ago maybe. And we're already well over 1,000 downloads.
Wow, that's incredible. Now, do you see the like Instagram, Facebook doing the same thing TikTok did? That's what I saw Gary Vee talking about, that everyone's going to start being sales on to all these platforms.
Yeah, so I believe Instagram, it might be in beta, but I believe they did roll out a similar functionality to Shop. YouTube actually also has something. So it's 100% trending in that direction. And it's also just like the creator economy is going to continue to explode. Like that's pretty obvious and that's what we know. But I'm also solving a problem on both sides of the coin because I'm a creator that does brand deals and I'm also a business owner that hires creators. And the problem is creators always want money up front. You know what I mean? They want to get the big flat rate, the big retainer. They want to get money up front. The problem is that's way riskier, obviously, for the business owner. But on top of that, creators often think they're way more valuable than they are. And so paid is kind of like solving both of those. It's like, hey, it's a CPM deal. And again, granted, that's not to mean that like, it's going to be like a free market. So it's like businesses are going to have to like figure out where to place their CPM to attract the best creators. Like if you come in super low, someone like me is going to look at that and be like, yeah, you're crazy if you think I'm going to make a video. I know my average views, like it's going to be so hard for me to make money. So it's still going to be like a free market. Like creators, like I can still there's certain companies that if they offered me a good CPM, like even like a $5 CPM, I know I can get 1 million views and then I can make $5,000 a month just for posting my videos, which is awesome. But on the flip side, like that's still for a business owner, they would pay $9 on average CPM on Facebook, for example. So it's still way cheaper and it's helping both parties.
Now, could you give us an example for just the listener that doesn't really understand what you're talking about?
Yes, exactly. Thank you for bringing that up. So CPM is the cost per 1,000 views. So again, it's like on Facebook, you're going to average $9 CPM, like at the lowest. On our platform, we're seeing like $1 to $3 CPMs. I expect it to go up a little bit as more creators come on, as it becomes more competitive to get the creators. But it's like right now, even at $3, you're paying a third of the cost you would for Facebook ads. It's really, really lucrative, and it's a great arbitrage opportunity for business owners right now.
Now, these businesses, what are they looking for for the creator to create?
Yeah, so they'll give a content brief and guidelines of what you have to follow. So most likely than not, they're going to give you like a bunch of different video types to replicate that they already know works that you can go and replicate, or they'll be like, hey, here's different like styles that we want. Like we want talking head, we want green screen, we want slideshows. So they're telling you what they want, and they do have to approve your video before you're eligible to like actually be paid out for it. Because obviously then you can make a video that's completely not compliant with their guidelines, then get paid for that.
Now, is it most of the time, do they send you product or are you just using what they give you?
So it depends. So a lot of our clients are apps and softwares and even services. So they're you don't need to send a product. That's why it's awesome. We're kind of calling ourselves the TikTok shop for digital businesses. Now, at the same time, to my surprise, actually a little bit initially, a lot of e-commerce brands do want to use us because TikTok shop has gotten so competitive now to where it's like even now, like just commission only isn't enough for the best creators now. And so to attract the best creators, you have to get creative and offer them more. So now it's like they want a lot of TikTok shop brands want to use us. And not only are they going to pay these creators their commission through TikTok shop, they'll also pay a CPM through our platform.
Now, I know a lot of people out there like chasing money, but people don't really understand that, do you have any insights that could help them? Like what's one lesson about money you wish more young entrepreneurs understood?
Man, honestly, it's like chasing money is the easiest way to never get it. I learned that like when I started in 2019, I tried drop shipping. And I saw all the gurus online. I saw all the ads. I bought like the first course for an ad I ever saw. And it's like, I remember like setting my ads to go live for like midnight. And I was like, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to like be rich. No sales, barely even any click. Like it was awful store, awful ads, awful everything. And it's like, I had zero desire to provide any sort of value when I was drop shipping. I just wanted to make a ton of money so I could live the life I saw online. And it's like, it's like when you're drop shipping, you're not really providing value. Like you're selling a crappy product from China at a marked up price. Like you're not really creating any value. Yeah, if you end up branding it and if you do certain things, I'm not saying e-commerce is a bad model. It's not. But the way that I was going about it, I had zero desire to provide value. I literally just wanted to make money. And it wasn't until I zoomed out and I really focused on creating value with this company. This company, it made business owners a lot more money because we provided good sales reps to them. And it made sales reps a ton of money by providing them the job opportunities they would have never otherwise had access to because we leveraged our brand, our case studies, our reputation. And so we had hundreds, honestly, thousands of sales reps get hired through our platform. We had people reaching out to us and they weren't paying us anything either. Like the sales reps were just getting connected. So we had people reaching out to us saying like, yo, like I left my corporate job because my remote job makes me so much more money now. And like one of my buddies that I'm still friends with, dude, he was 16 making 10K a month in high school, closing online, things like that were crazy. The same way with paid now, it's like we're making creators money they would have never otherwise been able to make. Like we're connecting them to opportunities because of my reputation, my brand, my network. They would never be able to get their foot in these doors. That I'm getting my foot in the door and I'm connecting them to these opportunities and I'm getting them really, really good paid opportunities. Same way on the business owner side, they don't have the distribution and the pool that I do in the creator economy. I can go out and get them creators that they would have to like go run an outbound campaign and take them months to get the same number of creators that I can get. And so like, I'm just so focused on creating this value in the marketplace that like the money is going to follow as a byproduct. Because I'm not chasing the money anymore. You know what I mean? There's no, and the other thing is you have to build a company that you actually like. You don't have to be necessarily passionate about it. I don't think that's true, but you can't hate it either. Like you have to like be doing like I'm doing this for like legacy like right now. Like I think paid is like my legacy play. I'm not motivated by any sort of lifestyle now. There's no thing I can buy, no apartment I can get that's like driving me right now. It's just purely the fact of like being a great entrepreneur at this point.
Now, for creators, how much of a following do they have to get started?
Literally nothing. Because here's the thing, it's like some people will pay you just for a UGC video, so it's not even getting posted on your own page. It's just like they want you to be like the Jake from State Farm of their business. They want to use your face in ads. They want to use your face on their Instagram, on their YouTube. Or you can create, the other thing is you can go viral with no followers now, right? Like that's kind of like what all these new explore pages have done. And so you can make a brand new page. You have to like warm it up for a few days. So you have to like actually like use it as like a real person, like, interact with people and things of that nature. But then you could start posting on a fresh account, get tons of views. You could make a fresh account. You could use AI avatars and never even show your face and make a page and make money from that. So it's actually crazy how you can monetize right now as a creator. You can do it faceless with these AI avatars. Like I said, you can do these slideshows. There's so many ways that you can do it now that there's really no excuse for like anyone that wants to make some extra money, like they can.
No, that's so powerful that anyone can do that. Now, what is like a mindset shift that helped you go from like an idea to creating your business? I mean, you have great examples already from what you've done. Do you have anything for the listeners?
Yeah, I mean, there's no excuse to not bring your idea to life now because business has been democratized so much. So like when I started Closify, I didn't have enough money to pay developers to build a platform. So that was how I discovered no code, which is kind of like what my brand's built around, right? That I was able, as a non-technical person, I was able to build the first version of Closify, even though I didn't have much money at that time and I couldn't have hired developers. Now there's text to app tools. I mean, there's literally tools where you type in and AI literally builds your product for you, and it actually like works. Like you can genuinely go and do this. In the same way, it's never been easier to grow a following online. You can post now, like I said, with no followers, and a video blows up and changes your life overnight. Now, the thing is, the odds of being your first video are super low. But it's like if you can post once, twice, 3 times a day for 90 days in a row, I guarantee you your life is going to look different. And so it's like making money online and building a business has never been easier. So like understanding that, like really, if you're making excuses, if you're not building your idea, if you're not posting that video, it's like you literally just do not want it bad enough because it is like I've not seen an example of someone that really wanted it and really attacked going after what they want to do, what they want to build, and stuck to it for 90 plus days, or even better, a year, 2 years, 3 years, and did not ultimately end up changing their life.
Yeah, having the right mindset can be the difference between success and failure.
Absolutely. I mean, again, it's like really if you want to change your life, like you will. Like there's all the guys that I came up with in the same like 2019, 2020 era, like they're all crushing it right now. Every single person that I knew in 2020 that stuck with it and is still doing business today, they are all crushing it right now. There's not a single person that has been working on their business from 2020 to 2025, 5 years, and is not making a lot of money right now. The thing is, how many people will actually stick to something for 5 years? The answer is not many.
Now, what does success mean to you?
To me, honestly, it is being able to wake up and live my life absolutely however I want. And that was something that, I really discovered once I did like buy some of the things that I used to want as a kid. So I was like, literally all I care about is if I wake up, can I go play pickleball till 9, 10 a.m. and, not worry about going into work? Can I take a midday break and go for a run in the middle of the day? Can I, like right now, I decided to surprise my mom for her birthday. So I'm in Sarasota right now. So I drove over from Miami, and it's like, I can do that because, I have this business that does not tie me down to one place. So it's really being able to live life on your own terms and like doing the things that are important to you. To me, that's spending time with my family. That's spending time with my friends. It's playing a lot of tennis, a lot of pickleball, running. Those are things that I like to do. As long as I get to do things that I love to do every single day, I'm living a good life, regardless of how much money I'm making.
Now, how do you balance work and personal life while building a business?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously you have to get good at time management. You have to become disciplined. But to be honest with you, I don't think it's that difficult at all because I think if anyone online is telling you that they're putting in like 10, 12, 15-hour days, I think they're probably a bad business owner unless they're trying to build like the next Amazon or Tesla or something, because the entire point of building a business is the freedom. And so if you can't figure out how to delegate to the point where you don't have to work that much, then you're hustling backwards. You're building yourself into the same hamster wheel that you were likely trying to escape. And I've noticed that a few times. But like people also don't understand. It's like if you set a time limit for you to accomplish something, I forget what the law is or the rule is. It's like if you let something take 2 weeks, it's gonna take 2 weeks. If you let something take one day, it's gonna take a day. If you let something take 2 hours, it's gonna take 2 hours. So to me, I just do like 2 90-minute to like 2 hour work blocks every single day. And each work block, I have a set number of things that I have to finish. That's it. I'll work for 3 to 4 hours of like actual work. I might take 1 or 2 meetings per day. And then that's it for me. Then the rest of the day, again, it's tennis, pickleball, run, friends, family. It's open.
Yeah, more people than ever want to make money online.
Absolutely.
Now, how does the paid app help creators make money in 2025?
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. You literally download it, and you scroll the explore page and you look for a brand deal or a campaign that might interest you. Maybe it falls in line with your interests or your niche or the following that you already have. You submit your content to it that you make, and assuming they approve it, you start getting paid out, whatever they're willing to pay per 1,000 views or whatever competition you're in. Then on top of that, whenever you invite your friends, you get 5% of their earnings in perpetuity. So, if you invite one friend, he makes 10 grand a month, you make $500 a month off of that one referral. So again, it's like if you have a following, you put up a story post, you get 100 new creators on it, can make you pretty good money. So we have a really, really good incentive for people to invite their friends as well.
Now, is it possible these creators could use just a faceless AI person to do this?
We're seeing that happen quite a bit, actually. Again, completely faceless. There's a bunch of AI UGC tools out there that you can do, and those videos actually perform very well. So there's a lot of people that are doing this totally faceless without ever showing their face.
Now, why do you believe that creators own their future?
Well, because, like I said, there's no moat anymore. So there's no tech moat anymore. Anyone can build software now. So the only moat that's left is distribution. So if you have access to attention, you have the most valuable thing. Every single business wants attention. And so if you have that, you have what's valuable. If you have what's valuable, you have leverage.
Now, I got to ask you this one, but what makes the Paid app different from other platforms that help creators make money?
So there's a few things. One, to be honest, I haven't seen a single other one that offers the variety of ways they can get paid. We have CPMs, we have brand deals, and we also have competitions. Now, on top of that, they don't have the access to the brands that I have access to. So again, I've been doing business for like 6 years now, 5.5 years, something like that. And I've gotten pretty well connected to the point where, I'm connecting these people to like billion-dollar brands at this point, and tons of 9-figure brands. And like these tech companies have deep pockets. Like I said, I got paid $7,500 a month for posting videos. So I have access to the brand deals that are actually going to pay creators the highest sums of money. And on top of that, the most opportunities. I really believe like the fact that the other advantage that we have is me being the founder. I think I can run laps around a lot of these other founders because, like I said, kind of like when I said at the beginning, this is like the perfect storm for me. I've already done a marketplace before, so I learned my lessons from that, and I'm solving problems on both sides of the coin. I get what business owners are looking for. I get what creators are looking for, and I'm a creator. I think I'm really good at making content. I think it's what I'm best at, but I think what I'm really best at is just marketing as a whole. And so because of that, I think our platform, I already know we're growing a lot faster in the first 10 days than companies that have been around for months already. Like it's public. Like you can see the number of downloads and such that people are getting per month. Like I already know for a fact we're growing faster than them. It's because, like, respectfully, I'm a better marketer than a lot of these people. I think it's really my best skill set. Like I said, I'm going for a legacy here. I couldn't care less about the money. Shouldn't say that. Of course, I still have financial incentives for this, but I'm really doing this about the legacy, and I think I can really cement my name as a great entrepreneur on this project.
No, so true. The creators are the future because they bring fresh ideas and real stories, to the world.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there's also, I left this out. There's a lot of things we're working on the product side. Some new features that we're implementing that, I won't say just yet, but will be game changers for actually helping creators make a lot of money, because a lot of creators really struggle to monetize. There's a lot of creators with big followings that make nothing. There's a lot of small creators that could be making a lot more, but they don't know that they can ask for more. And then there's also some new ways that we're introducing for creators to be paid that no one is even doing right now. So there's a lot of things that we're doing that's going to allow us to basically have more awareness than any other app and help our creators make more money than they will anywhere else. Because ultimately, if creators are like, yo, I'm making a ton of money on the paid app, they're going to go tell their friends, and everyone is going to be coming to us when they know it's where they'll make the most money.
Now, what's the biggest mistake businesses make when working with creators?
Definitely overpaying. Like, so let's phrase it this way. Let's say you have like a $10,000 creator budget for the month. for you to go pick 5 creators to pay $2,000 each, all like, and let's say that's 5 YouTube videos, for example, which $2,000 is like a very mid-size YouTube video creator's price. Like I charge more than $2,000 for a video, but someone probably like 20 to 40,000 subs, probably around $2,000. Those 5 videos could flop, and then you just wasted $10,000. Whereas if you would spread out that $10,000 into a CPM, and let's just say let's forget those numbers. But let's say you have 50 creators posts, 100 creators posts instead of 5. Inevitably, it's like we always know it's the 80-20 principle. 20% of the creators are going to drive 80% of the results. The rest are going to suck. And so you need to make sure when you do it on the CPM model, the ones that suck, it's fine because you're not going to pay them that much. And then you find your winners, and then you should give your winners more money. You should give them a retainer. You should give them bonuses. You're just doing this first campaign as a means to find your winners, and then you have to retain the winners. That's the next piece, because your competitors will try to poach, good creators. But that's the problem, is you need to find the winners. For you to just risk all this money out front on people that you don't know are winners, then you just blew your entire, creator budget for the month, and you lost money. So that's the biggest mistake they make, and that's why we solve that problem for them.
Yeah, I feel like creators really need to put in the work and build a solid foundation to understand, how to navigate and fail and learn and keep growing.
Yeah, I mean, you need to be able to work for it. It's like anything requires hard work. It's like a lot of these creators, they might get 10,000, 20,000 followers. All of a sudden they think, oh, I'm just going to start charging egregious amounts for a post when you don't have that much of a track record. And that just doesn't work. The other thing that I think is cool, like for me, it's like I'm a business owner first, I'm a creator second. It's like I said, I've been building businesses long before people knew who I was on social media. And so, I've known this, but, and for me, it's also like I have businesses that I can promote on my channel. So I have a little bit more leverage where if a company comes to me, it's like, yo, like a lot of these creators have to take brand deals because, you know what I mean? That's their only source of income. I'm like, I have businesses that I can promote that I'm getting a bigger piece of the pie. So if you want your video on my channel, you got to pay me like what I want. And that's still, it might be a CPM. Like that's not saying I have to ask for $5,000 up front. I might just be like, yo, like I need a higher CPM than you would pay someone else.
No, that's really cool. I mean, how do you think the paid app could change the way brand market in the future?
We are going to do to software and to apps and to other companies what TikTok Shop did to e-commerce. We're going to make it's even like when you run ads on Facebook, for example. It's like your first budget, it's all about testing. You do your first campaign, you get a lot of creators to post about you. That's the key. You need a lot of people to post about you. You're going to find your winners and you're going to scale with those winners. That is what we're doing. So we're going to change the way that, these companies are, hiring their creators. But also on top of that, it's like a lot of these softwares, apps, they haven't even adopted creators that well yet. Even B2B, there's a lot of B2B softwares. Like, that's where I really started, was in B2B, that it's still all cold email. It's still LinkedIn. It's still cold calling. If you're a B2B software, imagine all of a sudden you have 50 creators make a YouTube video that ranks for the SEO in your little category, even if it's a small category. Now you own that SEO on YouTube. That's super, super valuable. If all of a sudden someone searches hire commission-only sales reps on YouTube and they see 10 YouTube videos about Closify, they're going to check out Closify. You know what I mean? We invested money at Closify into SEO. Like if you search hire commission-only sales reps on Google, it's like we're the #1 organic result. I still think that's valuable, but social media SEO is going to be even more valuable in my opinion. Ranking on TikTok for searches, ranking on YouTube for searches, things of that nature. That's evergreen traffic that a lot of these companies aren't implementing yet.
That's really good insight. Now, what advice would you give to someone who wants to start a creator-based business?
You need to figure out what works first yourself as a founder to an extent. I always believe in doing stuff yourself first. So if you're a founder, and this doesn't mean you need to become a content guru, but you should at least be trying to find out what content works for your company first and trying to because ultimately, eventually you're going to have to be able to tell people what works, what not. it's very difficult. It's not that it's not possible, but if you just say, hey, this is my company, you tell a bunch of people, go make videos, like you're kind of spraying and praying to an extent. To where if you find out a style of video that works for your business, and you can tell then creators, hey, go make this style of video, I know it works, you're going to get way better results on that campaign. So try to figure out what works first. And also, like, you can almost start. So let's say you're trying to start a new business. You can kind of start with the marketing first and then circle back to the idea. So a lot of people want to come up with the idea first and then figure out how to market it. Go find some like really good marketing that you can replicate. And again, not like copy blatantly, because that's just like bad taste, but like good marketing and like, okay, like what else could I build off this same style of marketing, and reverse engineer to get the idea.
No, that's really good insight indeed. I mean, no, I don't know how to do any type of software or coding or anything like that. Now, how did you start building software without knowing how to code?
So like I said, I built the first version of Closify on a no-code tech stack. So Airtable for the back end, Stacker for the front end, MemberStack for like the payments, and then Zapier to tie everything together. Then that version made a little bit of money. I paid someone $2,000 to build it on Webflow. That version made even more money. Then we paid $6,000 for someone to build it on Bubble. And then we just kept recycling money back into that Bubble build. And then after that, I got lazy to an extent, like where like my next companies after Closify, I've just shelled out money up front to get these companies built, because I don't want to be bothered by it anymore. Like I just, I could learn how to, for a little bit, I thought about learning how to code just to teach myself something new, but it's just such a poor use of my time. I know I'm good at marketing. I think it's smart to stay in my zone of genius, but now there's these text app tools that you can utilize. But even like now, like you can hire developers for pretty cheap, especially like ones in like Eastern Europe and things of that nature. So again, whether you're learning how to build on a no-code platform, you're using one of these text app tools, or you're showing out a little money to developers, there's no reason you can't bring your idea to life now.
Now, what are like 3 simple steps to building a mobile app in 2025?
Yeah, so mobile apps are slightly more complicated than like a web app, because like I said, you can build a web app with text app tools. Mobile app, you basically either have to learn Flutterflow, which is like the best no-code mobile app builder, but it's like, when I say no-code, it's still like fairly difficult to learn, right? Like it's going to probably take you a few weeks to learn, but then you can build your own mobile app. Or like I said, shell out a few $1,000s to a development team to get it built. You can probably get one built for like $5,000, maybe a little bit less, but I would say that's risky then, because I try to stay away from cheap developers. So again, it's kind of like, again, I would go marketing first, reverse engineer, get your idea, design it. So again, learn how to design on Figma, design on one of these text app tools, go on 99 Designs and put out a competition for design. Once it's designed, either learn how to build on Flutterflow or pay a developer. And then now once it's built, you should already know how to market it, because you started with the marketing first. And then you can start to hire creators on a performance basis and grow your app really quickly.
So would you say if someone wants to start a software company, have no idea, that's where they should begin?
If you start with marketing first and you find marketing that's just crushing it, like people kind of talk about like, oh, like how do I know if it'll work? It's like, it will work. If you find something that's went viral time and time again with like the app integrated, it will work.
No, I can see what you're saying there. Now, how has artificial intelligence changed the way you think about business?
Yeah, so I probably don't even use it as much as I should. Like the only thing that I've used it with is these text app tools like create.xyz, like lovable.deb, where you just type into like a little box and it literally builds what you want it to do. So it can design your app prototype, it can design your landing pages, it can build you fully ready to go web apps. That's to me like the craziest. It's like, you can build a fully functional web app in like 30 minutes with like payments integrated and everything. Like that's unheard of. That's, so much faster than it used to be possible for so much less money. That's insane. I don't really use it for any other parts of my business. Like I'm not a tech guy, so I just haven't been that into this stuff. But like, people talk about AI agents and, people talk about using ChatGPT for all these different use cases and all that type of stuff. So I haven't really dove into all that too much, but I know a lot of people are raving about it, so it might be something that's worth it for, the listeners to look into.
No, AI is shaping the future. Now, what's some upcoming tech that some young entrepreneurs should pay attention to?
Create.xyz and Lovable. They're both insane pieces of tech that are improving so fast that it's like almost scary. Like they'll probably be able to build mobile apps soon. Like it's getting to the point where you're just like typing in English and you're getting fully built out software applications on the other end. It's absolutely insane. Now if that being marketing.
Now, if you could go back and do it all over again, would you do it differently?
I definitely would have started posting content online sooner now that I know how much, easier it is to grow a business off of. The thing was I just always wanted to be like rich and anonymous. You know what I mean? I never wanted to show my face on the internet, but it's like I'm not showing my face in a bad way. It's like I just talking to the camera about software. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm one of these guys that comes online and purposely says controversial things for views or anything like that. Like I just talk about software. So, there hasn't been any downsides in my opinion for me showing my face online.
Now, do you think the traditional jobs are becoming outdated with apps like yours?
I don't know that I can call them outdated because obviously our society wouldn't function without a lot of the normal jobs soon. I do think a lot of people really will be replaced by AI because there's so many jobs that truly is just like mundane, busy work that like, yeah, it's like if a company has the opportunity to replace a 60, 70, $80,000 employee for a fraction of that, they're gonna do it. Um, so I do think if I was just the everyday regular person, I would be looking for at least a side hustle. I don't believe everyone should be an entrepreneur either, by the way. Like there's been so many times that I've been like, man, like how good would life be right now if I just got to come home from work and I had nothing else to worry about. It was just done for the day. Don't need to think about it till tomorrow. Being an entrepreneur is stressful. Like, so that's why it's like, but that's why you also get more upside, but it's like, it's stressful. So I don't think everyone should be an entrepreneur, but I do think everyone should probably at least be looking to have a side hustle, especially just how expensive life is too now. It's like even going to the grocery store is expensive, bro. So again, if you're working a regular job and it's like literally now you can create a faceless account and make money posting videos on paid, it's like to me, why wouldn't you do that? Even if you only make an extra $200 a month, boom, like there's like a week of groceries or something. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I think I would be looking into side hustles. I don't think they're outdated. I think again, sounds nice to me even sometimes. Yeah, I would definitely be looking into side hustles and just making myself a little bit more like protected.
No, I resonate when you said that because you got to put yourself in a situation you don't feel comfortable in to grow. And on your Instagram page, I love it when you said you never get rich until someone writes you a big fat check. Now, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, so my business partner told me that in 2021. It's very hard to get super rich purely by cash flow. Like you would have to cash flow a lot of money for a very long extended period of time to like actually, and we're talking like 8-figure net worth, right? So if you want to achieve, let's say 8-figure net worth by like a relatively young age, which I know that's like a big bold thing or whatever, to do it, like even let's say your business makes 100K a month. Like that's awesome, right? We see all these guys online talking about making 100K a month. Well, it's like maybe they're at 60% profit margin, and then maybe they have a partner, and then you have taxes, and then you're not pulling out 100% of profits out of the business because you want to invest back into the business to keep growing it. So it's like they're not making as much money as you might think from their 100K a month business. They're making good money. Sure, I'll give you an example. I'm not going to say their names, obviously. I know 2 guys that are partnered on an agency that does 100K a month or sometimes a little over 100K a month, that on average, they pay themselves $15,000 a month. So, because they have a part. So it's like $15,000 a month, like then they have their own living expenses. Maybe let's say they even invest like $3,000 a month. again, you could do the math and the compounding on that. It's going to take you a long time to get to where you're trying to go. So long-winded rant, it's like he would always say you're not going to get really rich until someone hands you one big fat check for buying your company. So you sell your company on a multiple of revenue or a really healthy multiple of profit.
Yeah, understanding money and wealth building is something many people struggle with.
Yeah. So that's that's one of my goals is with paid. It's like eventually hopefully get that big fat check.
Now, what are some of the keys to going viral that no one talks about?
Yeah, so you have to have a really good hook. Obviously, like that's what everyone will say. There's a few like simple like frameworks that I think you do. Like every time I say you want to start a software company but you don't have an idea, I got you. It goes viral. And you can copy that across other industries. Essentially, you want to, and then like insert thing they want to do, but insert their biggest pain point. Like I know everyone's biggest pain point is find an idea. So I use that and it works. The other thing is just what's trending. If there's like my most viral video ever is like Iman Ghazi shut down his agency to go all in on SaaS. This was like in the peak of Iman's virality. And so like by name dropping him, I caught the attention of everyone that knew who he was at that moment. Name dropping videos work incredibly well for people that are like trending at the moment, whether it's for good or bad reasons. On top of that, it's like you have to speak in language that like anyone could understand. Like I can't say like my first video ever could have been like no code SaaS, the best business model in 2025. Like I would have already lost them at no code SaaS. People would have been like, what is this guy rambling about? But when I say, if you've ever built a website with Wix or Squarespace, you know how it's drag and drop to build websites? The same exists to build software. Then they're like, oh, okay, so like no code software is like drag and dropping pieces the same way I build websites. Oh, okay, got it. So like using metaphors, like Hormozy is really good at using metaphors and analogies to make people understand more complex business topics. So I think you have to be able to I think you have to be really good at business to be able to dumb it down for people to understand it. So obviously Hormozy is really good at business, has great business content. And so especially to go viral in a niche like my own, that's kind of boring, like software, I think you have to be really good at business. Otherwise it's like, yeah, like you can go viral making these like montages and mashups that are like feel good videos that are like little platitudes, but you won't convert followers from those. You won't convert business from those. You're just going to get that dopamine of like people seeing it and liking it.
Yeah, everyone wants to go viral, but most don't know how. I appreciate you sharing your insights.
Yeah. And, going viral is one thing. It's can you actually convert followers and more importantly, paying customers?
Yeah. Now, why do you believe brand is more important than product?
Well, I definitely think product is still important. Like, obviously, I think they more so go in tandem. Like, if you have a crappy product, you're going to hurt your brand. But again, it's like to an extent, if you have a really good brand, personal brand or a business brand, people will honestly buy almost anything from you. We've kind of seen this with school even. Like, from what I've heard, and, I'm not speaking from personal experience because I haven't used school, but the people that I know that have used school versus other similar platforms don't really like school as much, like nearly as much. But people still use it just because they really like Hormozy. So like, if you have a really strong brand like Hormozy, people will buy basically anything from you, even if the product might not be as good.
Now, what's an easy way for someone to start making money online in 2025?
I really do think mobile apps right now are like drop shipping in 2016 because again, it's like you can build them for a fraction of the cost that it used to be. And you can like your cost of failure is very low. Like in drop shipping is like, okay, you could spin up a store for, $100 and spend a couple hundred on ads. Okay, it failed. I didn't lose that much money. Move on. And you could rinse and repeat this process very quickly until you found your store that was a winner. I think apps are kind of the same right now. It's like, I think you can do it more predictably. Like I said, where if you start with the marketing and like you kind of know it'll work. But it's like if it does fail, it's like you can do this process very fast and you didn't lose that much money to where you can just keep moving on. So I think the mobile apps really are a good opportunity right now. But also, yeah, just being a creator is definitely like as a UGC creator, affiliate, I think is also a very good opportunities still in 2025.
Now, how important is networking in building a successful business?
Your network is important, but I don't know, like I've never like gone out of my way networking. Like I don't go to these like events. I don't really like try to like I don't really often DM people just like for the sake of networking. It's more so just like focusing on becoming someone that's valuable, and your network organically grows. Like people are going to introduce you to other people. People are going to want to have you in their network. So they're going to organically reach out to you. And this has happened to me a lot recently. And even it's like, I have people in my network that are worth 9 figures that like, there's the only valuable thing I can offer to them is the fact that I have a big audience, right? That they can leverage for something. So it's like, my audience has gotten me in doors that no amount of money, at least that I have, could have gotten me in. Because these guys, they're worth 9 figures. They've got tons of money. I don't have anywhere near that. So it's like, there's no amount of money that I could offer them. There's probably not an introduction to them I could offer that they couldn't get themselves, but my brand is valuable to them. So it's like, you really just need to become a valuable person yourself and either have a, or, you know, a lot of times, like another good example is a skill. How many times is someone a really good with a camera that, you know, they become a videographer for someone very big and then they get introduced to all different types of people. So you need to focus on just becoming valuable yourself first, whether it's a skill, whether it's your audience, brand, you know, whatever it is. And then your network will kind of organically grow itself.
That's a great takeaway. Now, what's one of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to build a personal brand?
Being inauthentic, and also it's like trying to be an expert at something before they are. It's like if you've never built a business before, it's like don't try to be a business guru. Just document your journey and be transparent with people. Be like, hey, I'm a college kid trying to make my first $10,000, or, you know, I have a 9 to 5 and I'm trying to replace my income so I can leave. Like people would much rather watch you authentically document your journey than you pretend to be this guru that you're not. And people can tell, in my opinion, at least. And then you're building an inauthentic brand, and that's not going to be very strong. The other thing is like people try to be this goes in with being authentic, is people just try to be like a clone of everyone. It's like they'll see someone pop off like a TJR, like a Brez Scales, like one of these guys, and they try to act exactly like them. They try to make the same content, the same edits. It's like just be yourself. It's like I really don't like I do my content again. I'm a business owner first. I make content second. So for me, it's like I put out the content that I want to put out, and I put out the content that's authentic to me. It's like, I'm not going to just see something's trending that some new kid is doing that it's like, oh, this content style is crushing, and I'm not going to go try to clone him. That's not me. You know, that's the same way I don't show any lifestyle on my page. There's no lifestyle montages. There's no videos of me like driving or on a boat or at a club. Like that's not me. So you're not going to see that from me, even though I know I could put it together a montage like that and get views. That's not me.
No, being authentic is so powerful. You know, you got to be original. And what do you think the future of influencers marketing is?
I think it's paid. I think it is, you know, bulk hiring a lot of creators and find your winners and taking very good care of them. I also think there's going to be like kind of like it kind of already is a position. There's going to be like a creator coach on every internal business's team, right? Someone that's constantly coaching their creators. This would be like the person that would like use paid. It's like they're the ones that are making their campaigns on paid, finding the winners, coaching the winners, finding new styles, doing all that type of stuff. But yeah, that's what I think the future is.
Now, what's one thing you wish more businesses understood about working with influencers?
They still have to be able to like make money. It's like some people will come in and it's like, again, kind of like what I was saying about the CPM. It's like, I'm not closed off to the idea of being paid a CPM, but if you offer me a $1 CPM and you're like, well, if you get like 10 million views, you get $10,000. I know how much that 10 million views is making you. You know what I mean? I like, you need to understand that like if people can actually make a lot of money with you, they will like go to war for you and they will go above and beyond for you. And so it's kind of like you always want to pay your A players a lot. Like and we're seeing this with TikTok Shop, right? Like we are seeing people pay their creators literally like more than the GMV they bring in. Like they will literally like if you give us $1 million in GMV, which is like sales, they will literally pay you like 1.2 million in cash, because that is how valuable creators are to them, of like getting the best ones. So it's like, understand, if you genuinely still want A players, you need to make sure they can make good money. And if they can make good money with you, like better than anywhere else, they're going to be pumping out more videos. They're going to be working harder to get better at content. Like they're going to go above and beyond. And that goes to any role outside of creators. It's like, you're better off just finding A players and paying them what they're worth than trying to skimp out.
No, I resonate with that. Even with equipment, for me personally, that's how I do things. Now, if someone wants to start building their business today, what would be the first thing they should do?
Literally just start. Like literally go on create.xyz and just start trying to build something. Like just start playing with it. Build something really quickly, make some videos about it. And even if you just start. It's like so many people like put off starting for so long. They're going to make a business plan, and then they're going to get their LLC, and then they're going to wait for the logo. And then like a month's gone by, and what have you done? Nothing. You have nothing to show. Like I would much rather you start failing today, and at least, okay, now you know how to design on create.xyz. Oh, you posted a video today. Okay, now you're starting to learn about how to make videos, how to make hooks, how to edit, things like that. Like just start. The sooner you start, the sooner you'll start making money.
Yeah, just press record and just keep on stacking those small wins. It's not one big win you're going to get. It's keep on stacking those small ones, and you'll get there for that major success at the end of the road.
Exactly.
Now, what role does mindset play in achieving financial freedom?
I mean, it's definitely important. Like I said, it's like you gotta have a long-term outlook. You gotta be disciplined. Again, those are really the two things. Like if you can just commit to like, honestly, Hormozy, he said it best, where he was like, if there was a 10-year contract that you signed, that was like, if you work at something every single day for 10 years, I guarantee you'll be a millionaire. Would you sign that contract? And a lot of people were like, yes. It's like the truth and the reality of that is like, that actually like is true. Like if you do work on something every single day for 10 years, I'd be shocked if you're not a millionaire. But again, most people won't do it for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. So it's like, but it's true. Being commit to something for every single day for a long period of time, like you're inevitably going to be successful.
No, that's so true. That's great insight again. Now, what's one of the best decisions you ever made in your business?
I mean, obviously starting to post content was one of the best decisions I ever made, but that was also kind of on accident. Hiring like coaches and people where I lack. I've done that every single time. Like I said, I've always paid people that know more than me or better than me. It really is a shortcut. Some of them aren't even coaches. Some of them are like, sometimes I worked with some, I've been burned by a lot of agencies, but I've also worked with some really great agencies. Like the SEO agency at Closify had a big impact on our business. I've hired coaches in like sales, and, you know, I've always just paid people that are ahead of me to, you know, fill in the gaps where I lack.
Yeah, sometimes like one decision can change everything.
Absolutely.
So now, how do you handle failure, and what advice would you give to those afraid to fail?
I mean, you're probably going to fail more than you win, so you might as well get used to it. Obviously, it's all about how you frame it. Every failure's, you know, getting you closer to a win, but it's also just like what you know, it's, I don't even know if a lot of the stuff that happens to me I would even describe as a failure. It's like, you know, you're learning what doesn't work. You know, it's like I've posted over 600 reels, and it's like maybe 6 or 7 have over 1 million views, which means, you know, not that the other ones are flops, but it's like, you know, there's 590 or something that are like, have done you know, you might send 10,000 cold emails a month, and you might get however many replies, and 90% of them tell you to screw off. So like these things are all kind of just inevitable. It's just like how you frame it, of like, you're getting closer to the win, you're finding out what doesn't work, however you want to frame it, but it's like the wins you see of entrepreneurship are few and far stretched between of like, it's like I bought, a car that I really like. That's like one cool win in 5 years. Like I bought a watch, like what, you know what I mean? Like that's why I said it's like sometimes it's just like, oh, I wish I had a job and I had nothing else to worry about. It's like your wins are far and few stretched in between, but in terms of like things like that. But the real win is, like I said, waking up every single day and getting to do exactly what I want. So if I get to do exactly what I want every day, then the failures that I have on a daily basis can't bring me down too much.
Yeah, consistency seems like the recipe for all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's a fun fact most people don't know about you?
I played pro pickleball for a little bit, just like for fun. Um, I would say that.
Wow, that's pretty cool. How'd you get into that?
I played tennis in college, and so then I was just playing pickleball for fun, and then I was enjoying it. And one of my buddies was like, you can just like sign up to like play in pro tournaments, and it's a little bit different now, but at the time you could. And I actually did really well, and I ended up getting to be like top 50 in singles for a little bit. I didn't make any money or anything, but it was fun.
Sounds like fun. Now, if you could sit down with any entrepreneur for dinner, who would it be?
Dead or alive, or has to be alive?
You go dead or alive.
I really like Steve Jobs. I feel like Steve Jobs was like truly like the creative genius of our time.
Yeah, taken away too fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, what's next for you after the paid app?
I have no idea. I have literally no idea. I very rarely have any idea what I'm gonna do a month from now, let alone 6 months or after that. Um, I truly have no idea because we never know where the wind's gonna blow us. Sometimes I tell myself if I could get a certain amount of money stashed away, I turned 24 in like 6 days. If I could get a certain amount of money stashed away by like 25, 26, 27, I might just go play pro tennis for a little bit. And again, it's like I'm not going to make money doing that. In fact, I would lose money. But again, just go travel and play pro tennis because I miss competing in tennis. Sometimes I'm like, yo, again, same deal. If I get to a certain number in the bank, I'll kind of just chill. Like maybe I'll just like even teach tennis or like, like not doing too stressful. And parts sometimes like, yo, like I'm gonna shoot for 100 mil. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like I go back and forth of like thinking all these different ways all the time that ultimately we never know where it'll take me until it actually happens. So I honestly have no idea what's after paid, but I'm just I'm not focused on that. I'm just enjoying my life right now and enjoying focusing on paid. It's probably the first time I've been excited about a business since 2021. So yeah, I'm just really enjoying building and being excited about it and getting to work hard again.
No, I love it. You only get so many summers in a lifetime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, how do you want to be remembered in the business world?
I definitely want to cement myself as like, I would love to be someone that like people kind of study and look up to in terms of like what I've been able to do and what I've been able to like orchestrate with paid. I do think this is like a very intentionally done, like viral built product that we'll see if I'm right or not. But I think it's like, again, it's a perfect storm for me and my experience. But at the end of the day too, it's not like, I'm not necessarily doing this like for like, it's kind of like people say all the time, there's celebrities that died in the last 3 months that no one talks about anymore. It's like, it's not that I think I'm going to be going down some history book or anything, but even more so like if I can, build this company and build it semi-publicly on my socials and, there's kids and people and even adults around the world that are like, dang, like if that kid did it, like I can do it. And, I've already had that to an extent. It's a cool part about content. Like to me, that's a W. Like if a few people reach out to me and they say, hey, like I saw this podcast, I saw you build this business. I was a creator on paid, I was a business owner on paid. Just to know if I had a positive impact on people's lives, like that's good enough for me.
You're definitely making a difference in a lot of people's lives by doing what you do. Your legacy is a big part of your long-term success. Now, where can people follow you and get involved with the paid app?
Yeah, so if you search no code Alex on Instagram, you'll find me. Or Alex Heiden on YouTube or Instagram, you'll find me still. It's at the Paid App on almost all socials, I think, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. So yeah, you can find us there.
And it'll be all in the description down below. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we go?
No, just say I'm rooting for everyone in my business partner. It's the most simple advice ever, but it always stuck with me too. It's like you can't fail if you don't give up. So I'm rooting for all of you guys, whether it's in business or just a hard season or anything. It's just keep going.
Yeah, thank you for joining me today on Every Day is Friday.
Absolutely, bro. Thank you.
No, yeah, for the listeners, we hope you enjoyed hearing all about Alex and him building the Paid App, his journey, and go follow him on all his socials. And until next time, remember, every day is Friday.